Yes. Okay. So the same thing, like as a lot of people discussed and then requested, we are creating company-based interview question discussions. And then we regularly post these kind of links to you people, and then you can all join this. And then coming to this interview, it was, okay, as I told earlier, okay, it was attended by one of my student, and then, okay, by her, okay, recordings, we just wrote all these questions, and then we prepared whatever the content to you people, okay. And then this is completely for Power BI developer, not any other data analyst kind of, okay, job. This is Power BI developer job, and for 3+ years of experience resume candidate, right? The two things I want to announce before going into the concepts or whatever it might be. One thing is, based upon your, okay, profile skill sets, the interview, like rounds may increase, or else participants in that particular round may increase. It's not like every time you'll have the same method. Sometimes couple of people who are from different skill sets will attend in the interview as a panel to ask questions. Sometimes they will take in separate rounds, okay, separate levels to question your skill sets. Let us suppose that I kept Power BI, SQL, and then like some other Azure or whatever it might be. Let's hope in that. Some companies, or else in the same company, if that particular panel member are available, and then they don't have like enough time to like make it tough separate rounds. So what they'll keep okay, all the panel members in one session. So they'll ask you all the questions, all kind of combination of questions in one session. And then probably you might, if you are gone through that one, you may finish that, and then you can go for HR round. This is one scenario. Or else the second scenario is, each and every skill set or else technology, okay, header, okay, interviewer will take a separate round for you, and then the rounds may increase. So that is the second scenario. These things happens in every company. So never judge that, okay, so this company will have only this kind of like procedure, right? So that's fine. And then, okay, so we'll go into our interview. It's completely around, this interview was took around like 38 minutes, I hope so. So as per her recording. So let's go into like the first question that, okay, she asked. The same common question that, okay, the people who knows the power of this one, okay, can, okay, decide their, okay, next 30 minutes, right? So just give me a minute, and then, right. This is the most powerful question and leaked question. Everybody knows that this question will be your first question. And then if you train for this question, you can lead your entire interview. I'll tell you regarding this first question. Okay, so this tip, okay, how you can handle this, and then how you can lead your interview, and then how you can get easily job by only this one question in the end of the interview. But okay, again, this was, okay, where you need to tell about yourself for 2 to 3 minutes. And after that, your complete profile, like, okay, so whatever you have been done in your career, like, okay, so if it is like non-technical or technical, whatever it might be, in that regarding to relative experience, okay, you need to tell how many years of, okay, experience that you do have in your Power BI or else whatever it might be. And in that, how many projects have you been done? Generally, a lot of people will have a query that how many projects that they need to keep in their resume. There's a simple logic for that, n-1. If you're going to keep 3 years of experience, 2 projects are good. You can go with 2 projects. And then if you are going for 4 years of experience, okay, you need to have three years of like three projects in your resume. So this is a general technique, and then you can go like that. So n-1. If you are going beyond 6 years, then you can make it like some other thing, like you can even reduce something, like you can't keep like 5 projects or something else. You can even like keep 4 projects, but make sure don't keep any project more than 2 years. Because if you are working for the same project for 2 years, okay, Power BI projects don't sustain that much, even if you sustain also, but okay, they'll check for your company, like in which company you've been done this one. Because okay, mid-level companies don't handle this kind of projects. Generally, they'll handle projects which are like 1.5 years and then mostly like 2 years only. But we do have some other projects which are like, okay, 4 to 5 years also, but those things will happen only in very big companies, because a lot of supporting things and a lot of big teams will handle these kind of things, right? That is the second scenario. So probably if you are trying to showcase your experience, I hope most of you people, then obviously you'll keep a mid-level company or something else in your previous experience. So try to make it less than 2 years each and every project. That's my suggestion. And then again, once you're done with that, okay, in your resume, so obviously you'll have like, let us suppose that 3.5 years of experience, you can make it 2 to 3 projects. That's up to you. And again, selection of your project also very key things. Everybody keeps similar kind of projects in their resume, but as per my knowledge, as per my experience, like when I interview like to the candidates, I'm also a technical head in my organization and I do interviews to a lot of people. Whenever I see different kinds of projects in a particular region, I feel impressed, because they do have different kinds of domain knowledge. Let us suppose that all the 2 projects or 3 projects you've been kept on sales, then obviously you have only sales domain knowledge, but you don't have any other different kind of sales knowledge. But so if I get chance to select 2 people, one having completely sales domain knowledge and other one having sales, medical, and then like some other transport or else, so whatever it might be, or it's production, procurement, or it's HR kind of projects. So obviously I'll feel comfortable to take the other one, because they'll have they're having multiple domain knowledge. Obviously people feel comfortable to take the people who are having the domain knowledge in which they wanted to place that. But let us suppose that in my company, I do have vacancies for a project which is completely for HR project, or else production project, or else something else like healthcare project. So obviously mostly people take decisions in such a way that we will take people who are having a minimum of healthcare domain knowledge, so that would be easy for us to make the project comfortable to them, and then we don't need to give so much of KT or whatever it might be. So people feel the same. Even recruiters feel the same. Recruiter is nothing but someone like your project manager, someone like your team, and then someone like your relationship manager, or someone else like technical head, whatever it might be. They'll be, obviously you are going to contact them while you're working also. So they'll be in touch with you. They're one of your team member or else team concerned people or higher official to representative for that team, whatever it might be. So here, keep as many domains as you keep. Don't repeat the domains. I'm not asking you to keep all the domains that you have. Just if you are keeping 3 projects, try to keep 3 different domains. And again, while you keep that, you need to have some knowledge upon that. So that is my suggestion, to have like more calls. Everything depends. If you're not getting calls, it means there are no. It doesn't mean like there are no calls. There are a lot of key things involved in that. Then only you'll get calls. So I'll explain one of them, and then a lot of them. Time to time, and then you can just keep on in your content or whatever it might be. And then this is the main thing that drives into your interview path or whatever it might be. So you need to be more cautious over here, and then anything that you want to convey, you can simply convey over here as a point, and then you can move into like some other things, so that you can they don't involve in that. Let us suppose that you are not good in Excel, you're not good in something else, you're not good in some SQL. Let us suppose that you're good in Power BI, you're not good in SQL. Then you kept a resume with knowledge in SQL and then expert in Power BI. Then you can simply tell that, yeah, I didn't get too good chance to work upon SQL DBs, but in my project I worked on SQL DB, but they created everything, and then we took the data into Power BI, and then we worked there. We didn't went into RDB, and then we didn't created all this TSQL part like views, stored procedures, and then you can convey that, and then simply just make it in 1 or 2 lines, and then you can go into other concepts in Power BI, like real-time project concepts, so that you are telling them, the interview, that you are okay with SQL, you know SQL, but you don't involved in PLSQL, okay, database side. You are simply telling that and you're moving to that. So obviously he will think that, okay, so it's okay, she's having knowledge, and then like we'll think level. Even after you are, okay, so interview session part also, not the one who is there in the SQL panel, he will think that, okay, so what are the questions I need to ask? Okay, he'll just scrutinize the question part. So obviously you'll get, okay, comfortable questions in your thing. In that way you can portray again. That is also in a very light manner, and then don't take too much time upon that particular concept only. You can go ahead and then into Power BI where you are too strong enough, right? And then let us hope that, okay, so 2 minutes for the previous projects, and take the entire time how much you can take for your recent project. And the key tip, okay, I'll just explain you like in the end of the session, which will makes you get selected in each and every interview without like having more questions. Okay, then let's go into like second question. What is row level security and row level security? And then if I want to see only data of a particular country and region, how will you provide the security? So anybody having any idea like what is row level security? You can just have a discussion, just 1 minute. Anybody?
We can restrict the data for the particular roles.
Okay, that's fine. And then will that be happen after the model or before the model? Any answer, any guess, any guess. It's not like interview, right? Okay, you can have a guess, or else if you don't know, like you can just
after the model.
No, not after the model. It will happen before the model only. Like, let me explain you. The row level security is very key concept over here, which restricts the rows for the user as per the, okay, whatever we give the roles. And then this will be done before the model. So before the model only, like it will be done. And then even if you go and then check for the data in your data, okay, in your data view, you can't find the rows. Like once you develop this one, once you create some rules and then you restrict some data, let us suppose that I do have like here, they are asking for, okay, some regions. Let us suppose that, okay, I do have like 4 regions. And then in the East region, if you people restrict the data for me, so I can see only the East region. And then if I go in the data also, I can't see the other data. Only that particular, okay, East related data only I can see that one. So that is what we do have. And then even in filters also, let us suppose that in filters, if you have, okay, a role or else whatever it might be, right side filter pane, even there also you can't find that particular whatever the data. So that is what we call it as row level security. And then it done before the model. That is the reason why we are even like, okay, in the data view also we can't see, and then anywhere we can see the data. Second thing, so if you want to do, okay, so how many types of different types of row level securities are available? Anybody? Anyone? We do have 2 types of okay, row level security. One is static and the second one is dynamic. What is static and what is dynamic? Yep. So static is simply that if you have limited roles, okay, let us suppose that 4 to 5 roles, and then, okay, if you want to give them, then you can simply make those roles and then you can provide them. Again, the second question is like, if they wanted to change those roles, or else if they wanted to add those roles, again, they need to come to a developer, and then developer need to do that one. So they can't do it by their own, okay, from the front end like report. So that is difficult. So in that case, if they do have, okay, changes, or else the roles need to be changed, or else the person need to be changed. Let us suppose that some roles has been given to some manager, suddenly some manager has been resigned and the new manager came. So obviously for him, for that particular, okay, email address or whatever user principal name, we need to give that role. So obviously again, so he need to come to the developer and then developer need to do that. So that is static kind of thing. What is dynamic kind of thing? Row level security. Dynamic row level security is simply like they'll have a table with all the roles, okay, and then, okay, the restricted data or restricted region or whatever it might be. So whatever allowed to that particular, okay, candidate or else manager or whatever it might be, those will be kept in another column. And then, okay, so based upon that table, we'll create a dynamic row level security, because here they don't want to like come again to the developer. They can make this happen from the table which they are providing. From the source only, they can change that. Let us suppose that, okay, I'm a manager, I do have an access for each region, and then I resign, some other came. So in my place, okay, in my place of email, okay, they will replace some others, okay, some X people's email in that particular source table. So obviously, whenever the source get refreshed, the new role will be assigned to the new guy. They don't need to come to us and then ask to change all these things. So that is the second thing which is very important. And then if you are able to tell how to create a dynamic row level security, including the DAX part also, then that's going to give them a very good impact in the interview. Very simple thing that how to create a dynamic row level security is like, okay, let us suppose you have a security table. In that, okay, you have like one usernames, and then the other column is like obviously what we call it as the region. You can use the user principal name. You can say in this way, like you can use the user principal name, and then you can create a summarized table. Okay, so or else like you can make it like bottom, not the summarized table. Like you can create a table inside in a variable, such that you'll get only that user principal's region, which he logged in with that particular user principal name. So that only you'll get, okay, that particular column, or else in that particular region in that particular column, and then simply you'll equate that to your table, so that, okay, only those filtered rows only will be displayed to that. What is that? What is that? What is that? What's that? Can you please come again? I didn't get that one. Right, that's fine. And then we'll create like that dynamic row level security, and then we'll go into like services, and then we'll publish that one. Very simple. Nothing, no need to like update their email address in the Power BI services, are not like dynamic row level security. That is what you can explain to them, and then they'll feel comfortable over here. Even that syntax part also. So that's regarding this one, right? And then again, different data sources that you worked on. Again, it completely depends upon you, how you are good at. So if you are good at like different data sources, you can go with that, or else if you are only go with, you can tell the answer that I've been dealt with like flat files and CSV files, and then even SQL also. If you are good with the Dynamics 365 or else, and then make sure that they are not going to ask you the DB related data. You can simply tell that I use that database, but I don't have like good knowledge in that. In my team, I do have like data engineers, and then they used to take care about all those things. Simply. Right. So choose very limited, and then at least you have like a minimum knowledge upon that one. So that will be useful for you. And then again, that SQL and then flat files like CSV files or whatever it might be, you can even go with that also. But at least one DB need to be there, okay, so that they'll feel comfortable. And then SQL, if you have like SQL experience, then that would be more comfortable, because a lot of projects right now are on Excel. And then again, they are migrating to something else, that is second part. But on-premises data is, okay, in most of the companies, like 50 to 60% of companies used to have SQL as on-premises DB for them. So right now they are migrating, but still more people having their DBs on SQL only. Right. So again, let's go into like another question. What are the different roles which are assigned to users in workspaces to read, write, and then of the report? And then if you want to assign a role to a user in the workspace only to read read purposes, which role would you like choose to assign? So, anybody having an idea like over here? Anybody having any idea? Like go ahead and then give your answer.
Yeah, it's a viewer only. Means yeah. Admin, member, contributor, viewer, 4 roles are there now.
Yes, obviously.
Yeah.
And
viewer only.
Yeah. So why it was going. Yeah, that's a good thing. And then again, if you okay, in the end, I'll bring you that particular table also, like which roles will have like what kind of possibilities, and then what they can do, all these things. I'll ping you, or else let me show that image. Let me give you that image in like chart also. Just let me try to give you that.
Some are unmuted.
Just a minute. Just a minute. So you people have that in your chart. So can you see that one? Right? Can you people see that in your chart?
No, we are
Yes,
unable
yes.
to see that.
I have been sent a screenshot for you people. You can see that one. Is it available for everyone?
Wait a minute.
Yeah, I didn't understand. Like, can you people access that particular screenshot?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. And then that is what you do have. And then let me share here also. Okay, share here.
We need to explain every role, means there are
Not
so
like
many
that. Not like that. Not like that. They're asking you, like, you can tell that we do have admin, member, and contributor viewer roles, different kinds of roles. And then they're asking, okay, only one scenario, like, okay, they wanted to give only read access. So obviously you can tell that, okay, I'll give a role of viewer so that they can have only read access. They can't do anything other things.
Okay.
But have a look into this. What are the views? Okay, what are the roles, and then what they can do. So obviously admin can do everything, and then member doesn't have like access to delete or remove workspaces or whatever it might be. Then contributor doesn't have an access for app related kind of things. Sharing items in the app and then updating the app. Okay, so publishing, unpublishing in the app. Okay, app related kind of things. And then data sets kind of things. Okay, doesn't have with the contributor. Only he can do like editing, so all these things for the report level. And then viewer obviously only have read access. He can't do anything for that particular report or workspace, right?
Yeah.
Right. So just to have you can have that one. You can download that one from your chart. Okay, right. And then, so I hope that we're done with this question, right? Different kinds of roles. And then like, what is incremental refresh? Very simple answer. A very simple answer for this one. A lot of people get confused over here. And then how to explain this question in your own words, and then never try to like take it from Google or somewhere else, because you are telling that you are experienced guy. And then if you try to copy from definition from somewhere else, and then if you try to replicate the same definition in your interview, they'll feel that you are trained. If you are experienced, you'll obviously tell that in your own words, rather than the definition. So only freshers will read and then by heart the definition, and then they'll tell. This is the feeling of interviewer. So obviously everything what they ask you, you just tell it in your own words, and that with some keywords which will give impact that you can use. But okay, don't go with like complete definition which was there in the Google or something else. So here you people might know like what is refresh and scheduled refresh. But incremental refresh, a lot of people get stuck over here. What is incremental refresh? Incremental refresh is nothing but, let us suppose that I do have very old historical data, like 10 years of data, and then I'm getting data till date also. Till date also, like I'm getting data daily. So what I'll do, if I refresh the data every day, my scheduled refresh is like every day I need to refresh in the morning, early morning, 5 o'clock. Let us suppose that. And then if I refresh the entire data, so what it will happen, so entire 10 days, 10 years of data plus today's data also, it will get refreshed every day. Obviously, because of that, refresh time will increase, and then again, a lot of mistakes may happen. Okay, refresh failure may happen. So a lot of things may happen. So in that scenario, what people do now, like, okay, they'll go with incremental refresh. What it happens, first of all, they'll hit one time like historical refresh. Like, let us suppose that till yesterday, whatever the data is there, they'll make it like first time load. They'll load all the historical data at once, and then they'll refresh only daily data. They don't refresh, okay, the data till yesterday. Only today's data, like, or else yesterday's data, they'll refresh. Today morning, I'll refresh up to like whatever the data that I've been got today morning 5 o'clock. I'll refresh that one only from yesterday 5 o'clock to today 5 o'clock. So daily I'll refresh only that particular, okay, yesterday 24 hours data. I'm not going to refresh all the 10 years of data. So that is what we call it as incremental refresh. Again, for that, you need to have some access, and then you can't do it. Okay, so generally you need to have like pro license and everything. Like, even I'm just telling to practice. If you want to practice that, you can't do it with your, okay, like free licenses. For that, okay, just go into your, to have a look into that, just go on to your any of the table, right click, and then you can find that incremental refresh, okay, dialog box, and then you can see what happens. Like, you need to give the parameters for, so what are the dates, until which date you want to make it one refresh, that you need to create one parameter, and then daily refresh, you can create another parameter, you can give that, and then it will take as per that. Again, there we do have two more other options, like whenever you have data, if you want to refresh that also you can, and then only the data which is like before the completion of the period. So that is the second thing. So you can choose that one also. Those are like small options, and then you can choose that, and then you can make a fresh incremental refresh. The key concept that you need to tell in this particular question is that incremental refresh means when you have historical data, you don't want to refresh all the entire data. So what you'll do, the older data, you'll refresh for one time, and then only the frequent or recent data, that the daily or weekly, whatever, whenever we are refreshing, that data you'll refresh daily. Today you'll come and refresh for yesterday's data, and tomorrow you'll come and refresh for today's data. Like that, you'll refresh. So that refresh time also will be less, and then refresh failure, if it get failed also, you can simply recover that, and then you can make that particular data only refresh, and then it makes faster refresh.
Okay, will it make sense? Incremental refresh is used to refresh the newly added data to avoid the timeout errors. Will it make a sense?
Yes, but at the same time, you need to add another point, like in the first shot will they refresh all the historical data also, because they'll feel like, okay, so what if like you're taking daily data, or else like, okay, whatever you told, like, but still, what about the like historical data? They'll ask that question. So if you can add that point to your definition, that would be like great for you.
Yeah.
Like, don't try to give very short answers. My advice is time to consume your time. If you consume your time, then only like you'll have less questions. If you are giving very fast answers, that's very happy, but still you'll have like more questions.
Yeah.
So obviously, while explaining, treat them that they are okay, also just like you. Don't treat them that they are expert or something else. Just they are like your team members. Let us suppose that you are also working the same team, you are giving some information to them. In that way, you need to tell. Then only you will also feel yourself that you are experienced guy. You need to feel that you're really experienced guy. Then you just make the interview in such a way that you're telling to your colleague or something else. So then obviously it makes a good, okay, relationship between you and them. So that is the question. And then like, so here is another, okay, Power BI services kind of question. Recently, like, okay, a lot of people asking this kind of questions a lot. So can I copy and paste a report of one workspace to another workspace? So first part of the question, can you copy or not? If anybody have an idea, like, you can go ahead and then give me the answer. Right, you can make it. You can make it. For example, I copy and pasted a report into another workspace. In this case, whether only the report comes to the data set, also, or a data set also will come into the workspace. Here, basically, you're copying the report. So again, a lot of people don't know, okay, what happens in real time. They never, okay, gone with their Power BI services. A lot of people, 70% people don't, like, even didn't even like seen what happens in Power BI services. So they'll have a confusion. Why? In Power BI services, once you publish that one, you'll see two things. You will publish only one report, but you'll see two things. One is like Power BI report, second one is data set. Even if you publish only one report, but it will show in two ways. Like one is your Power BI report, second one is Power BI data set, right? So two different things that you will see in your Power BI Power BI services. If you copy the report in one workspace, and then if you paste it in another workspace, obviously you'll have only the report, but you don't have the data set in the second workspace. But that will be linked to the data set which is there in the earlier workspace. Right? You got my point or not?
Yeah, got it, Prasad. If you made any changes in first report in data set, it will change in another workspace.
Yes.
Report.
Yes.
Okay, fine.
That's fine. And then even like if you change any data set kind of changes, it will replicate over here also. Right, next question. Okay. And then, this is what you need. Like, first of all, at least have a blank look. Even you don't have an access, at least see some videos where people shows all the like Power BI services kind of things. I'll try to keep a new webinar, free webinar on Power BI services also. Complete Power BI services. We'll make it on some other Sunday or somewhere else. On Power BI services, complete Power BI services. I'll try to make that one. I'll post it in the groups and then you can have join into that. Second, what is pivot table and unpivot table? Where you find this one, first of all? Anyone?
In Power Query.
Fantastic. And then like, do you have any idea like regarding this? Any idea?
How Power Query?
Yeah, pivot table, unpivot table. Simple things like I'll explain you. Like when you have rows, and then if you want to convert them into columns, you'll use in a 3D format. You can use pivot tables. Rows to tables is called as pivot tables. Unpivot tables, like columns to rows in a 3D format, is called as unpivot tables. Those are the two different things that you do. And again, like if you want to like go into deeper concepts, so you can dig into that, but I don't want to like take you, because there is nothing more much into that. If I can show something, then obviously it would be better, but right now I don't want to like make it too big a session. That is the reason why I'm not at all showing anything. If I go by question, and then if I show some examples, and if I do that one, like it will take around like 2 to 3 hours to finish these questions. So I'm just going to give you some information, and then you can dig over there. Again, if you are good at Power Query, I'm not asking to make it on M language. Even if you go for mouse operations, if you are good at each and everything, then you can consume a lot of time over here, and then you can skip a lot of questions. That is the easy topic, where you can have like more comment on, and then you can like consume more time in your interview upon those topics. So just go ahead and then have a look into like complete Power Query related videos. And then in my channel, Power BI with Prasad, I do have a YouTube channel. I do have this Power Query complete sessions also. You can have a view into that, right? So go to Power BI with Prasad YouTube channel, and then you can have that particular free video over there regarding complete Power BI Power Query, right? And then like, so some other question, how to get data from another table that I don't have a relation with it? Anybody?
Using unions, joins.
No, I didn't get that one. So let us suppose that. So unions and joins. So I want to have a calculation. So how can you do that?
Related, using related
Index. Yeah, obviously, right. Fantastic question. Related. So that is very good answer. And then you can see simply like we do have some tough scenarios, and then some remedies for that. So when you don't have a relation, and then if you want to still get the data in the calculations, obviously you use related. In the same way, we do have a lot of tough complexes like scenarios. Like in that, we do have remedies using some DAX functions. You need to learn those. That people generally ask that at least 1 or 2 questions in that particular concepts. And then if you give the answers, obviously they'll feel more comfortable to take you people, because those are like, so tough scenarios, or else like critical scenarios, or else like some what we call it as important topics maybe. So generally, like, you'll have like many-to-many relation, and then you'll have like bidirectional cardinality in the modeling. And then you have like a lot of questions. Those questions have been asked in this particular interview. A lot of those kind of questions I'll explain you one by one. Okay. So I have a table visualization. Yeah, go ahead.
No, go back. What is the exact answer for that one?
Related.
Using related.
Yes.
Using index column also, we can give a relation.
I didn't get you. What is that? Yeah, you can use like lookup also is there. Okay, you can use that one, but the scenario, based upon the scenario, it depends. Generally, we'll use relation and related function, and then you can use that one. That is the best answer. And then in some other complex cases, you can go with like index, what are, and then even lookup also. No need to use index also, and then you can use simply go for index also, like lookup also.
Okay, fine.
That's fine. Second, so I have a table visualization, which I have 3 columns. And then make sure this was not asked in the question, they shown a visual, and then they asked how to sort this one. So obviously they share the screen, and then they shown some like visualization, and then they asked how to sort with this. I don't want to like have a shot from this columns. I want to have with some other, how we can do that. So let me explain that. I have a table visualization which I have 3 columns. I wanted to sort the data by using another column that is not present in the table visualization. How can you sort this data? So very easy technique. If you know this, it will take 5 seconds. 5 seconds.
We need to do modeling now.
No. Way to go for modeling.
No, if we these are 2 different tables.
Visualization. Okay, they're not talking about the data. Like this.
Yeah, okay, sorry.
They're asking, I have a table visualization, right? Okay, so in the visual view, like, they'll have a table visual, or else chart, what you call it as. So from there, they got like 3 columns. Let us suppose that, they got 3 columns, which is like year, quarter, and month. The month was filtered in such a way that April came first, March, and then April, like that, in an alphabetical way. But they wanted to show it from January. That is the original scenario. How you can do that? Generally, like if you like short it, obviously what you will find from April, or else from Z. So either in ascending order, or descending order. January, February, March, April, May, like that, the months are there. So how they can sort it? They wanted to show it in like January, from January, February, like that. But it was showing in alphabetical order. April 1st, August 2nd, like that. Not only that one, if you want to like filter any column with another column which is not there in the visualization. So what you'll do, you simply click on that column, and then you'll have that column tools, and then there you'll have sort order, and then sort by, and then you click on that, and then upon which column you want to sort it, you can choose that one. So that column will be sorted by that one which is not there in the visual. In that visual, even if that column is not there, but you can still filter that entire column outside the visual also. Okay, people have an idea or not? No?
Not understand clearly.
Yeah, definitely. So obviously, right, and then can you people see my
Yeah, green.
screen, and then, okay, so is it showing my Power BI?
Yeah. It's a show.
So obviously, let us suppose that I do have some month or something else, okay, month name or something else, or else any other column. So how you can sort it by another way? Like, let us suppose that I don't have, okay, so I don't have month name column. It's going to be like, okay, so let us suppose, okay, so what is that? Okay, so yeah. So month column I do have, but okay, I don't have month name. So obviously, okay, so create and order date, new column. Let's make it faster, and then I can month name, sorry. And then, okay, so format, you can use that as so order date. So you can take this order date, and then I want to get my date as MMM, and then you'll have the date over here. So month name, obviously you'll have, and then if I get that one over here, so you can see that April, August, December, February, it is showing in that way, right?
Okay.
So right now
Yeah.
I don't want to like, I want to filter. I don't want like, you can sort it by okay, the ascending or descending from here, but I want to sort this one with another filter, with another column, which is not there in this particular okay visual. So obviously how you can do that, click on that one. If you click on that, a column tools will be shown. And then if you don't click on that one, you don't see that one. Just make sure.
Yes.
If you
Yes,
click
yes.
on that one, you can see the column tools, and then you can see sort by column. And then I want to column by. So which column? Like, okay, so I do have like month name I do have here, and then I don't have any other column. Like you can see order date is there, and then that is okay, like hierarchy I do have. So obviously we need to create another column based upon that one. So I'll create a new column, and then I'll create month number kind of thing, and then obviously so month of that particular order date. So where is this order date? Okay, where is this? Okay, so missed it out somewhere else. So order date. So I'll get the number. Let us suppose that I got ordered month also, month number also. Right now I want to, month name is coming in this way. I want to filter it, sort it by month number. So how you can do that? Click on month name, then go here, and then come, you'll find where is that month number. This. You can see right now it was sorted by month number. So this is how you can sort it by outside the column. So in this visual, I don't have that particular month number, right?
Yes.
Obviously, again, but you can do again, how many columns that you can do? You can do only upon one like column. Like for this month name, you can sort it by only one another column. You can't make it like by 2 or 3 things, right? So hope hope you people understood that one, and then again we'll go into our key things. So this is what we do have, right? Again, another question that we will go. So what is calculated column and calculated measure? Everyone will have a doubt upon this, and then I don't want to like prolong very much, because if we discuss only on this one, you can discuss even for 1 hour or so. People will have a lot of questions: when to use column, when to use measure, and what is calculated column, what is calculated measure. When you want to create a column, so when you want to create a row for each and every row that already exists with a row context, then you will create a column. That is what we have, a calculated column, creating an expression or calculating an expression for each and every row from which, okay, we do have already existing like row. So that is what we call it as column. And then if you want to go for measure calculates an expression for a filter context, and then will obviously gives an output as scalar value, single output. People feels that, okay, they'll drop the measure in the table, and then they'll feel that, okay, we are getting here also the same column kind of things. No, it is working for each and every row separately. For each and every row, it is working separately. In a table, if you drop a sales measure, whether it might be implicit or explicit, it works in same way. It will works as a scalar output, but it works for each and every, like the filter that is available in that particular visual. So that is what like calculated measure. simply. So got it? Got the point or not? People
Yes.
have a lot of confusion over here, and then people get stuck over here. Okay, so using some examples, okay, we can make it very clear. But right now, I don't want to like make too much lengthier session regarding for this one. So what is the difference between summarize and sum? Anybody? Anybody? Difference between summarize and sum. Very interesting question. If you can answer this, obviously, like you'll get very good points in the interview. So first of all, you need to have an idea upon like what is sum and summarize. And then if you have an idea and summarize, then only you can understand. Sum is nothing but like summing up, getting total of that entire columns or whatever it might be. But here it doesn't looks into any other condition or else any other filter or whatever it might be. But summarize doesn't do like that. It will go into a table. In that, it will summarize the values, or it only doesn't do the sum. It will do all the aggregation things. It will do the sum. It will do some maximum, minimum. It will find it. It will find the average. It will do anything for those values. And then again, you need to give a particular column based upon which you need to group by. So first of all, it will do some
it will do grouping now.
Yes,
Just
that's what I'm telling you. Like, based upon a column, first of all, it will do group by, and after that, it will do the aggregation, whatever it might be. So whatever it might be, the sum, minimum, maximum,
average,
whatever that you need. It doesn't do only the sums. A lot of people that summarize will do only like per each customer, the total sales like that. No, it will do a lot of aggregation functions, and then you can do that one. So summarize is very good function, and then we do have summarize columns also. A lot of times people ask like, very next question will be what is difference between summarize and summarize columns. So again, if you can tell in two ways, like in summarize, you need to use the table, but in summarize columns, you don't need to use the table. You can simply go for the column at the first argument. That's the first thing. And then second argument, you do have the filter option also. You do have inline filtering option also for that particular table in summarize columns. That is the key things that you need to like explain whenever they ask you like summarize, difference between summarize and summarize columns. Right. So hope you have an idea into that. And then what is sum and SumX? So they'll ask you, sum is a normal like aggregation function, SumX is an iterative function. What does it mean by iterative functions? Iterative functions is nothing but when you have a filter context, automatically, forcefully implementing the row context in that particular calculation. So then we'll use this SumX. It will go row by row calculation, row by row, and then it will do some expression. And then afterwards, the value that we got from that expression will be summed up for each and every row. So that is what we call it as row level iterative functions. And then with example, if I explain, you might understand more clearly. But again, let's try to do that one in the next time. So this is key differences between sum and SumX. SumX is not an iterative function. Sum is not an iterative function. SumX is an iterative function. What does it mean by iterative function? Means, so whenever we do have filter context, so obviously if you use any X, sum X, average X, minimum X, max, anything, any iterative function, it will automatically forcefully create an row context in that, and then it evaluate that expression and do that particular aggregation, whatever it might be. If it is sum, for that each and every row, it will calculate some expression and then it will sum up. So unit price into quantity, it will do that calculation and then it will add to the SumX. And again, it will go to the next row and then, the unit price of that particular product and then how many quantity were sold, multiply that one, and then at that amount, it will sum up to the previous SumX. So in that way, it will keep on going to each and every row. It will do some aggregate like calculation or expression, and then it will sum up if it is SumX. But when it is sum, simply like it will take entire column and then it will sum it up for the respective filters if we have. So that is what we do have, right? Regarding difference between sum and SumX. Then how can you like set alerts and subscriptions for a report? Again, for this, you need to have some Power BI services kind of experience, then you can go ahead, and then there will be like settings option there. You can just give this alerts and subscriptions. I'll try to like get a screenshot up on that also on this in this group, and then you can have this question and then this screenshot over there, right?
Yeah.
So obviously they'll ask at least 2 to 3 visual kind of information. So have you used a waterfall chart visualization, and then at what scenario have you been using that one? So first of all, we do have some default visuals where we call it as like native visuals. So I'm not asking about like custom visuals, the visuals that we do have. Okay, so just have a look into that, and then when we use that kind of visual, at what kind of situation we'll use that kind of visual, you need to have an idea, basic idea. Again, I'll ping you that image in the group also. That screenshot, that PDF, I do have a PDF. I'll try to ping that one in the group, or else you can see that one in my this video description wherever possible, right? So obviously, if you are use that one, and then if you have an idea, like when we have like waterfall charts and then you can have explain this one, or else you can simply ignore that. But don't try to ignore. First of all, you'll have each and every. They're not asking you for custom visuals. They're asking you the default visuals. Default or native visuals are very less, approximately like 25 or 30 we do have, and then you can have that regardless of like SAR, or else Power Query, Power App, Power Automate kind of things. You don't want to like go into that. You can simply tell that I'm not like I didn't went with that. But other options that you can use with the normal data, you can tell them. Have a look into that, and then just you can understand what you do. What you do in Power Query and Power Query. So what you will do using this Power Query and Power Pivot? Anybody? Why use Power Query?
Data cleaning.
Yes, you can tell. It's very simple answer, but try to prolong that one, because the answers that you need to prolong that one. Power Query is used for retail operations such as extraction, transformation, and loading. In transformation, we do have different kinds of purposes. One is like cleaning, and then second one is shaping. We can do cleaning and shaping over there, and after that we can enter we can load the data into Power BI. This is what you can tell regarding Power Query. And then Power Pivot, obviously the modeling part, and then you can tell that to have a relationship between tables, you can use this Power Pivot, and then to get the data related with other table, just like that. Okay, so this is a small question. And then if you want to elaborate that, again, you can go ahead and then tell that, so different cardinalities, and then like the cross filter direction in this one. And then like you can go for, if you are good with like schemas, you can go over here. And then if you're good with like the basic understanding knowledge of data warehousing, you can have some discussion over there. So as per your knowledge, you can just elaborate that question, and then you can give more input. People, obviously, every interviewer will feel comfortable if you are telling something. They don't want to like interrupt you, or they don't want to like no, I ask you this question, only give me only one answer. Never, they don't go with this kind of answers. If you tell something, if it is really informative kind of things, and then if you are telling in a right way, so that they can understand in a story way, they obviously feel comfortable to listen. Everything that you need to portray as a story, you need to become Rajmoulis over here. Okay, so just try to tell everything in a story way, and then you'll get succeeded. Is it possible for 2 tables to have more than one relationship? Anybody? If yes or no?
Yes.
So first of all, how can we have 2 active relationships at a time?
At a time, yes. Some tables are related to one-to-one or one-to-many, many-to-many.
No, not like that. Not like that. I'm asking you, like, can we have more than one active relationship between 2 tables? No.
I think yes.
No. You can't have more than one active relationship between 2 tables. between two tables. Okay, I do have two tables, table A and table B. Between them, you need to have only one active relationship, but you can have more than one inactive relationships. That is what you need to tell. Active relationship is the relation that will sustain for every like entire period, like that will sustain every time. But inactive relationship is, okay, you created that one that never be like active. You need to make it active for that particular calculation or for that particular instance. So again, it will come back to inactive, and then the active relationship will get into that position. So that is the main key things. To use a relationship, how to get the data. So you do have use relationship DAX function. By using that function, you can convert the inactive relationship to active relationship for that particular instance, for that particular calculation. Once you've done that with the calculation, again, that inactive will become inactive only. So that is the scenario. If you can explain this one, okay, then obviously you're going to get very good points, okay, in this particular scenario. You can have only one active relationship between two tables, but you can have more than one inactive relationship between those tables. Again, to make the inactive relationship to active for that calculation, you can use relationship DAX function, and then you can convert that inactive relation which was already given earlier, and that inactive will become active, and then that calculation will be done. And after it is done, again, it will make the inactive which was converted into active, that will be again converted back into inactive. For that instance only, it will become active, and then again it will become inactive. So that is the thing that you need to understand over here. Hope you people understand what I told, right?
Yes.
Right. Thank you so much. And then like I have a column like product ID. Like this is a DAX scenario. Once again, I have a call. At least, okay, nowadays people are trying to ask you like at least one DAX scenario. Instantly, you need to give an answer for that. So again, there you need to have real-time scenario experience, a lot of scenarios experience. Like if this kind of scenario happens, what you need to do. So learning from videos is something different. You can't answer all the questions, and then you can't succeed in the interviews also. That is okay from my experience, and then I've been dealt with these many like batches. I know that learning from videos is very difficult, and then to get the job is also very difficult out there. I'm not telling that it is impossible, but that is very difficult point to get okay solved in like even interviews, even to get into real time also. Like you can't sustain only through videos. You need to have like real time examples, and then you need to have a lot of things, and then you need to practice them, and then you'll have a lot of doubts, and then you need to have a mentor to like solve all those questions, because the one who really practices will know like how difficult is that. Even you copy from a like okay video, you don't understand it without proper explanation, or else if you don't, while you do like okay, you feel like you're just copying the same thing, but still you'll get errors. Yes, the people who practice will find that one. Anybody facing that kind of issue over here? The people
Yes,
who
of course.
practice, that those people really will get that kind of situation. So
Yes,
yes, I tell that okay, well, yes, obviously for those people who can't afford, go with the videos, not an issue. You can go with okay, my channel, and then you can see a lot of Power BI videos, even like sessions also for free, and then you can have that. But as per my experience, if you want to crack interviews, then obviously you need to have a mentor, okay, or else a trainer somewhere else, okay, to guide you in a proper way, so that you will have like complete knowledge on Power BI, and then you can go through that, and then hopefully, I'm not trying to like make it commercial. So again, so here, if you have okay some kind of real-time scenarios in your okay pocket, then obviously you can answer this kind of things. Again, there will be like lot of scenarios, and then I can't tell that okay only if you can learn 10, 20, 30, you can survive in this world, Power BI world. There are a lot of like thousands of scenarios, but if you learn some basic scenarios, then you can sustain that one. Real-time scenarios are more important than any other thing in DAX, right? So go in a proper way, and then in our channels also, we okay since last 1 month or 2 months, okay, a lot of people asking some real-time scenarios that they're facing. So I'm creating those kind of videos, okay, for them to give an answer. I'll try to make more frequent, more real-time scenarios. Okay, I'll try to do that one, as a lot of people ask for that one also. Right here, in this scenario, like I have a column like product ID, product name, and sales, and the sales are Indian currency. Here the scenario is I want to see the sales in the currency which are changing according to the country which I select. So I do have two tables. One is like product ID. They are not going to like elaborate like this also. They'll ask you the same question and they'll remain calm. You need to understand that there are like two tables. One is like product ID, product name, and then sales. The second one is like country and their currency. So currency means, okay, their currency, and then obviously the third column will be the currency ratio for Indian currency and their currency. Obviously, without that, you can't do that one. So from that two tables, like how can you show that? When I click, I do have a slicer. In that slicer, I do have the countries. If I click the country from the second table, obviously I need to have the currency, the product ID, product name, and the sales should be shown in that particular currency. How you can do that one? How you can achieve this one? Anybody? Very simple, very simple, very simple. You need to create okay, another measure, and then there you need to create in such a way that whenever they create, they take, you need to use selected value function, and then you need to take that particular currency ratio, and then you need to multiply that one with this sales, which is like Indian currency. So based upon the slicer selection, that particular currency rate will be filtered, and then you need to take that selected value from that particular column, and then you need to multiply that to this particular currency. This is the technique to create, very easy, simple scenario. You can make it like in like less than 5 minutes. One simple logic, you can make that one. And then here the key function that you need to use is selected value. Selected value will shows the value which you filter over there. So obviously if you filter USA, so USA dollar will be filtered, and then again that particular USA to Indian currency conversion will be filtered. You will take that one, you will multiply that one with this particular sales, and then you show that one. So automatically it will happens by the user selection in the filter according to the country. So this is the solution that you can simply tell. And then again, sometimes if you are not properly explaining that in words, they'll ask you to write the syntax. If you can explain that very comfortably with your words, they don't ask you to show your screen, and they don't ask you like to write the text. So obviously you need to tell the algorithm or logic in a proper way so that they can understand that one. Right? Yes, definitely. I'll create a real-time scenario video on that one also. Definitely, I'll create that and then I'll post it in my YouTube channel. You can have that one. Right. So these are the questions and the total topics that were covered over here in this particular interview is like databases, and then Power Query, DAX function differentials, and then DAX scenarios and Power BI services. All these concepts has been covered in this particular interview, and then I'll come up with lot of interview sessions very frequently, and then I'll explain those answers also over here. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
I saw a question. I seen a question in a Wipro interview. It's a very not a difficult question, but very interesting question.
Yeah.
They asked that we have a pro and premium license now.
Yes.
We have a 48 refreshes in premium now.
Yes.
Then if we set a within 24 hours, 48 refreshes we need to set now. We're able to set, possible to set now.
Yes.
Then they asked that every 30 minutes is the data will be delayed like that. They asked some question. Did you understand the question?
What is the last part? Okay,
They asked that
differences. I know that, but what is the final question that you skipped out?
Question is final question is within 20 hours we can fix the 48 refreshes now. There you can say that within 30 minutes, every 30 minutes is data will be delayed or not, like that they ask the question.
Delayed.
Can we say that that data is delayed within 30 minutes, like that? No, I have a question. Can I play that?
Yeah, you can ping me. You can ping me in the group. Are you there in the group?
Yeah, I am there.
Like I understood. Okay, that thing. Okay, so first thing is like, okay, will that be delayed? Okay, so live data. Let us suppose that they have live data.
Yes.
And what you are asking, I got the question, like the scenario.
Yes, yes.
So will that be delayed or not? So let me explain you. Like, let us suppose that, okay, I refresh right now. I refresh right now. Then I'll get the data, okay, until this second. Then after 30 seconds, okay, 30 minutes, I'll refresh again. So I'll refresh again. And then I'll get the data until that particular second, right?
Okay.
So the very first minute, okay, the data which we get in the database, which is live, okay, very first minute after the refresh, okay, that data we can't see. But again, every time if we refresh, okay, the instantly, okay, if you can, we can see the data which is up to that particular second.
Okay.
So let us suppose that you made it at 7:30. So up to that 7:30, you can see that. But the data we get it at 7:31, you can't see. You will see it at 8 o'clock only.
Yes.
So that is what you can tell them. What is their intention? Okay. So they are not asking you that. Only they are asking you some explanation about that particular scenario.
Yeah.
So what you feel over here? So is it okay getting delayed or not? There are two scenarios here. The 7:31 data is getting delayed 29 minutes. But the 7:30 data is not getting delayed. Okay, it is showing that instance. And again, second scenario. What is the data size that depends upon? Because every time you are refreshing the data, right?
Yeah.
So how much it is that okay going to refresh okay the entire thing or else only that particular 30 minutes thing? It depends upon that. So a lot of different scenario like aspects also will come into this to explain that one. If you explain this whole scenario, they'll feel like you're very good at this particular concept.
Yeah. That was a tricky question. Means
obviously, like there will be like they don't ask you like whether it is true or false or something else. They were asking some scenario, some concept from you. They're looking for some concept from you. Obviously, not a tricky question, but they wanted to like know about you what is regarding like okay, sir, we refresh yes, and how much time it will take, and then again, for okay, if is that an incremental or non-incremental? Okay, so a lot of things that comes into that. If you tell some answer, then obviously they'll ask the second question.
Yes.
So that's it, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So this is like one of the Wipro question, and then I do have a lot of okay like questions with my okay students. Okay, I'll ping them all. Okay, and then again, someone asked. Okay, so yes, we train Power BI and SQL batches. New batch also starting, and then if anybody interested, I'm not trying to like okay convince you people. If anybody interested still in the learning process, if you need like to learn with us, you can just call on this number, and then admins will okay give you all the information regarding what are the things that we teach. And even like real-time power like Power BI project batch also going to start, only project batch that's going to like work for okay 7 days. Okay, that is again separate batch for Power BI real-time project. But in this particular Power BI and SQL general batch, you'll have entire things like Power BI, okay, complete thing, and then okay, pilot projects and the real-time project, Power BI services, row-level security, everything from like visualization, Power BI.
Is it a separate session that Power BI?
No, it's not a live session. It's a complete regarding training. Okay, so we do.
No. I am asking that there is a pilot projects now. Power BI live project. Is it a separate session? Means SQL and Power BI is a separate session, or this real-time projects only is a separate?
Let me explain you. Okay, this is not regarding free webinars. These are like training, online trainings.
Yeah, I know. I am asking that that Power BI projects only is a separate session, or is it included with Power BI and SQL?
yeah, if people are interested to go with only that particular batch, we do have that
Yeah.
particular separate package for that one. And then if the
Mm.
people wanted to go for from basics to like advanced complete Power BI with this Power BI pilot projects and then real-time project, Power
Yes,
BI
yes.
services,
Mm.
and then like job assistance kind of things, how to get more calls, and then how to get so tips and tricks regarding interviews, and then like so a lot of important things that you can crack, how you can crack, and then what dumps of sample resumes, dumps of interview questions, a lot of other material, PDF materials, and then for entire DAX. So all these things, everyday tasks, and then real-time scenarios. So a lot of things will happen over here. So
yeah,
if somebody wants to go only for a real-time project, so they can choose for that particular batch. And then some people, if they wanted to go with the entire Power BI and SQL, they can choose these batches. So it's
yeah.
completely your wish.
Yeah, one more request. Can you, I asked in group also, can you send the resume which is include both environments like Power BI and SQL in a single project?
So why not? Why not?
Sample.
Simply you can like,
Yeah, I'm asking that if you have any resume like that, can you please
yeah,
send in that group?
obviously, we will
Yeah.
obviously send that kind of resumes in the group also. Like definitely I'll make that one. Again,
Mm.
while why I don't obviously give some sample resumes, because a lot of people like what I've seen then like so they didn't even like change their
Yeah, I know. Even not
everything,
even
and then they'll
changing.
simply copy that and they'll paste it. So
Yes,
the
yes.
calls will even the calls are going to the other people's.
Yes.
So they're telling that, sir, I've been removed my resume, but still why I'm getting calls.
Yeah.
Because someone changed only their name, not even the phone number also, they posted that one.
Yes,
And then some other people will
Hmm.
tell like keep that SSIS, and then in that resume somewhere else, and then people will go for interview, and then he'll get the questions on SSIS, and then feel that people are
No.
asking SSIS
Yes.
also, we need to learn power SSIS also, and then they'll get confused over there. There is
Yes,
nothing
yes.
that whatever you keep in your resume, that only like they are going to ask you. Even if you tell that I have only knowledge in SQL, you can just simply tell them that in my resume I kept only knowledge, so I'm not expert in SQL. So they don't ask you that one also in deeper. If you keep your expertise in your DAX or visual customization, not custom visuals. People do visual customizations also.
Yes.
That concept is not available in like a lot of YouTube channels, but still we teach that one in our batches. Visual customization concepts also will explain how to custom the default visuals to look like something new visuals, converting the visuals also into something into new. So these kind of things also will explain that. So again, that is another concept. So people feel that one. So that is the reason why we are never interested to share sample resumes, but still I'll try to make it very
try to send at least one resume like
I'll try to send a skeletal resume. So obviously like it doesn't have any name or something else. So people need to work upon that, and definitely. And again, every time
that need to include SQL like store procedures, trigger functions, like
again
TSQL.
like again it depends upon the people what they need. Again you can portray in such a way that you worked upon both Power BI and SQL simultaneously. So in a project, in your one of your project, that DB is SQL, and then you can portray that it was an SQL DB project, and then we were supposed to create some use and store procedures in SQL only. We don't want to get it into Power BI, and here we don't want to do that. So I worked upon that SQL DB, and then afterwards we get the data into staging, and then we converted into like we moved into Power BI, and then we worked on that one. So you can make it simultaneously. A lot of people, what they'll do now, like for the first year I worked on SQL, and after that 2 years I worked on Power BI. It is not like that.
Yes.
If you that is your technical things. If you like able to express that one in a proper way, then you can make it like more worthy than if people ask you how many experience on SQL, you'll keep it 1. How many years of experience, you'll keep 2. So obviously it counts only 2 years of experience in Power BI. It's not like that. You need to portray in such a way that in my first project, or else your recent project, whatever it might be, you can tell that I worked on both the things. So obviously you can keep 3 years of experience in Power BI and 1 year of experience in SQL. The total experience is 3 years only. Simultaneous experience. So that will makes you more stronger than any other people.
Yes.
These kind of things you need to just have a look, and then if you understood, then you can obviously get more calls.
Okay.
Right. Okay. No need to like have anything. So first of all, okay, you can create your projects also. We'll explain okay, in our things in our batches to create their own projects. They'll create the projects. They'll create their own projects. So whatever you feel, you can create your own project, because you'll have the entire knowledge upon that. And then what are the things, how many pages that you build, how much time will it take, and then real-time environment, how they'll ask questions, everything will be like explained in our things. Only not like Power BI, real-time environment, entire things, they'll feel like they are working in a real-time thing. That is how we'll create our real-time project, and then we'll elaborate. Okay, we'll teach that one to our students.
Yeah. Okay,
If you get practiced in such a way, that definitely you'll feel comfortable to give your interview, and then even it will be not much difficult for you people only. Right? Anything more?
Yes.
It's getting to like 1.5 hours. I hope so. All right. Okay. So any other questions for anybody else? That's fine.
No,
Thank you so
thanks.
much. Okay. So if you people have any questions or something else regarding my training, okay, you can contact the contact number. As we'll come back soon with some other interview questions and some other live free webinars. Okay, until then, have a great day and good time. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. Then try to join our subscribe our YouTube channel and then our Telegram group also, so that it will be useful for you people only. We'll post a lot of new job openings also. Don't think that calls are reduced. Okay, calls are going good. And then like today morning, it was like 31,000, around like 400 companies are looking for Power BI developers. Today morning count. These many companies are looking for not jobs. These are companies. And then if you count the jobs, there are like around like 1.5 calls are there. Right.
Yes.
If you're not getting calls, that's completely your mistake. You're going in the wrong way. Just take a look into like everything that you are portraying about yourself, like in portal, everything. So you'll get more calls, even your resume also.
Sir,
Yes.
please share the resume for the freshers, sir.
There is nothing more for freshers. Yeah, definitely. Let me just first of all